Starting with some breaking news coming in, hundreds of protesters took to streets of Palandari region in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, demanding independence from Pakistani clutches. They accused Islamabad of giving second-class citizen treatment to them for the past 7 decades. Once again, you have people in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir talking about Pakistan's atrocities. They are now saying that while on one side Pakistan was plundering their resources indiscriminately, it was trampling upon their fundamental rights on the other side, and saying that the leaders, local leaders, have there created a humanitarian crisis in the region, but the world doesn't get to know the reality. So once again, POK citizens raising their voices against the Pakistan government. These are protests taking place in Palandari in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Gursimran joining us with more details. Gursimran, yes, tell us, what are these people highlighting? Once again, they're saying that they're in fact talking about Pakistan's atrocities towards people in POK.
Pakistan atrocities on the people of Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir is not a new thing, and the people here, they are leading protests in the Palandari area, which falls in the Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir, and they are demanding independence from the Pakistan. Reason being that the Pakistan has time and again only utilized and used their resources, and the people in the Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir, they have always been a traitor for Pakistan, because Pakistan feels that they want to be with India, and that's why Pakistan has been committing atrocities on them. We have seen time and again how their resources were misused by Pakistan, and that's why these people, they are staging protests. They are saying that the Pakistani administration led by Imran Khan and the POK administration, they are treating them like a second-class citizen for the past 7 decades. That is since the independence of India and the bifurcation of Pakistan, they have been treated as second-class citizen, and that's why they are saying that their fundamental rights are also being ignored, and there is a humanitarian crisis which is going on, and it is a high time for the world to see what actually is happening in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, where they are committing atrocities time and again.
Absolutely. Not the first such time, Gursimran, wherein people residing within Pakistan-occupied Kashmir have been raising their voices against the administration. Remember how, several times we've seen these kind of protests take place in various parts of POK, demanding a release of some of the political prisoners, also alleging that the state machinery has been violating human rights of local population. Now talking about how, bad treatment is meted out to them time and again for the past 7 decades, and so on and so forth. So the list is endless, and so many of these voices emerging time and again, protests after protests that we see every few days.
This has become a reality that the people in Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir, they are fed up from the Pakistani administration, because it is not that this has happened for the first time. We have seen how forced disappearances have come into being. Those who raised voice against the Pakistani administration, they were forcibly disappeared, they were killed, they were brutally tortured and whatnot. We have seen those activists who rose voice against Pakistan's ill behavior with the citizens of Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. They were put behind the bars. Even at times, their close relatives have no clue about the whereabouts. Even many of them were found dead, and there was no probe that was launched by the local administration. So this all shows that the administration themselves want these people, the people of India who have been illegally occupied by Pakistan, the Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir they live in, are being treated as second-class citizens and are subjected to the violence from the Pakistani side and the atrocities from their side.
Thank you, Gursimran, for that update. Let me quickly bring in Colonel V.N. Thapar joining us on the phone line. A very good morning to you, sir. These are residents in Palandari in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, once again raising their voices against the state machinery. They're talking about how, despite the government over-exhausting the resources within their territory, they are being given second-class citizen treatment for the past 7 decades. We're seeing so many such protests take place every now and then, sir. The situation remains unchanged.
Yes, that is very true. Actually, the portion of Pakistan, portion of Kashmir that is in the illegal occupation of Pakistan has always been a step baby for the country. What has happened is that they are not only being treated as a second-class citizens, but they are also being exploited in a big way, politically, economically, and in every other manner that you can think about. You see, their resources, for example, water, that is so important. The entire river has been turned thanks to all the help that they get from Chinese. The course of the river has been changed altogether, and the water is being taken to Punjab. Then there are so many other instances where the people are being, now the Punjabis are being brought from Punjab and being settled here because these poor, there is no good hard representations from the Kashmiris. So their lands are being taken, people are being resettled over here to change the demography and get them. Girls are being married into the mainland people. So this is all that is what is happening, and people do not like it. After all, there is certain ethnicity, and this kind of a forced use of forced to change the cultural and the political will of the people will not do, and people will revolt against it sooner than later. So, I mean, it has been simmering for so many years. We've been hearing every time protests taking place and being suppressed with hard ways of that the Pakistan is so used to. So, I think there is nothing common between the Kashmiris and the Punjabis, or the Kashmiris and the Sindhis, or other people. But the will of the majoritarian Punjabi culture on them is not going to work, and people will certainly not like it, and it will take the form of some protests which are now apparently taking place there. So I believe that this is bound to happen because of the. They did the same in Bangladesh. They treated the Bengalis as machars and makkis and whatnot. They sub-race. They used to think themselves to be superiors, and those are inferiors. The same is the attitude with Kashmiris.
Yes. Yeah. And rightfully so. Colonel Thapar, why should people not speak against these atrocities that they've been, they've been at the receiving end of for the past so many years? We thank you for sharing that perspective with us. Let me quickly bring in Major General S.P. Sinha also joining us this morning. Good morning to you, sir. Sir, what's very extremely bizarre is that despite what the ground reality is, these visuals that keep coming in from several parts of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, Pakistan has the gumption to still project itself as a defender of human rights at global platforms like the United Nations. It's extremely bizarre.
If Pakistan is saying that they are protector of human rights, what was the population of minorities in Pakistan in 1947? Hindus, Sikhs combined 22%. Now it is less than 1%. It is point something. Where have they vanished? How is it that the Sikh girls are kidnapped, the Hindu girls are kidnapped, and forcibly the religion is changed, forcibly they are married, and at the gunpoint? So is all that human rights issue? Secondly, you see the majority of people, except for Punjabis, majority of people are not happy with Pakistan, especially POK. And POK is not a province of Pakistan. They have a separate representation. They have separate seats in Pakistan Assembly. So therefore, and Pakistan doubts the loyalty of POK people because emotionally they are integrated more with Kashmir and more with us. Now, you see, Punjabi lobby dominates Indian Army. Punjabi lobby dominates Pakistan Army. Pakistan Army controls complete Pakistan. So it is Punjabi lobby which is dominating entire Pakistan. You call of Shias, you talk of Shias, you talk of Ahmadiyyas, you talk of minority, you talk of Balochistan, you talk of Sindh, you talk of POK. They are being exploited. All the rich minerals that is available in Balochistan is being used for economy of Pakistan. And what do the Balochis get in return? A pittance, nothing. So it is exploitation of resources, exploitation of people in Pakistan by Pakistan army, which is totally dominated by Punjabis. Now the question is about human rights. I would like to ask a question. Who killed Jinnah? Who killed Liaquat Ali? Who killed Benazir Bhutto? Who killed Zulfikar Bhutto? Who threw out Nawaz Sharif in an illegal manner from the chair of Prime Minister? Who initiated Kargil war without even the Prime Minister of Pakistan, Nawaz Sharif, knowing about it? These people talking about human rights? They have no sense. There are no human rights in Pakistan, army-dominated Pakistan. They only believe in grabbing power. Only Pakistan army and Punjabis have flourished in Pakistan. Rest of the people are beggars. The ladies of Pakistan are getting into queue, waiting for 4 or 5 hours to just buy 2 kgs, 3 kgs of sugar. The ladies of Pakistan are rushing to China. In China, they're being exploited physically, sexually. All this Pakistan government is not able to see.
And Pakistan, General Sinha, Pakistan will never admit to these ground realities, but it's for everyone to see how these people have been forced to take to streets in such large numbers, and they have been forced to now demand independence from Pakistani clutches. The reality is for everyone to see. Thank you, General Sinha, for speaking to us and sharing that perspective this morning.